Hi, everybody. Come on in. I really got to do something about the lighting in here. I'm going to wait till we. Oh, wow. Y'all, I had a feeling that was going to happen. I guess I'm going to have to, I didn't even know I could turn the camera off in a live video. Somehow I just did, y'all. So while we waiting for people to get in here, I didn't even know I can do that with this phone. I just turned the camera off somehow and don't know how I did it. So while I get this cord situation together, we're going to talk about the video topic. Okay. My cats be like messing things up with the cord. So, all right. 10 clear signs that someone is using you. This is a month where you may actually have people use you. Okay. So just be careful. Some people are trying to, get some money before they got to do the planting. So some people are trying to get out of financial trouble before they get too much in the spring and have to work on something new. I'm gonna get back on video in a minute, y'all. I didn't even know I could turn the camera off live on video. This is something new that I just learned, y'all. Had no idea. So I'm actually gonna do my hair while we're having this video topic. So I'm gonna get on video here. So now that I know how to actually turn the camera off, this is gonna be much easier when family members come in or I gotta do things for my family real quick during the video. Now I know how to turn the camera off. Okay. We're gonna I had to change everything up because my cats was like messing with stuff. Okay, y'all. So we will get started in a minute. So 10 clear signs that someone is using you. Now, some of these signs y'all probably not even going to be aware of. I'm gonna start doing some beauty videos. Some of y'all been talking about my skin. So I'm gonna show in another video some things that I use for my skin. If some of y'all wanna use what I use. Let me see if I can get more light in here. We only got about 3 people in here. So I'm trying to wait till we get a bigger audience so people don't always have to do replays. Okay. Let me move this over. Y'all can see me a little better. So 10 clear signs that someone is using you. Now, let me see what I got going on here. Let me get a little bit more light in the room, y'all. What the hell was up? Y'all, this is wild today. Straight up wow. These cats have been like really zooming in this room. Why was that even on the edge? Hold on, y'all. Oh. I'm gonna have to keep the door shut again because I see how they rolling. I don't know what that was, but it sounded like it might have broke. Let me make sure it didn't break. Okay. I'm off video, y'all, for a minute. We're gonna get started. Thank you for waiting. I just had to put some natural light. I'm gonna do my hair as I'm talking to y'all. Do the back of my hair. Hi, everybody. So I did get some more light in this room. Okay, so 10 clear signs that someone is using you. So I'm using this lotion right now. I'm kind of liking this warm vanilla. I like the way it's making my skin look. So I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this right now. Okay, so one of the number one signs is that they talk behind your back, but they'll never go away. Okay. So they won't even admit that they're talking behind your back. Maybe they're talking behind your back, but you notice that like they never break it off with you though. And they always kind of slip dance on distress type of energy into the conversation. So let's say you're optimistic, you're positive about life, but they sit up there and they start switching it to stuff they going through. Meanwhile, you know that they talking behind your back, and you're like, why is they even expecting me to help when they talk behind my back? um, that was something I just recently realized, that there was people in my life who were talking behind my back, but every time we would talk on the phone, they would just call me. They would immediately at some point start talking about their needs or their struggles. Let me tell you, some people know that you are a helping hand, that you're just a helpful person. So they know that if they just start talking about what they're going through, you won't start helping. The problem with that is when you know that person is not trustworthy. So you kind of like know that they're taking advantage of you. Hi, everybody. Oh, thank you very much, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I've been a little ruthless lately. But sometimes if you want to get respect, sometimes you got to kick people in the knees. Sometimes you got to stomp your foot on the ground just for people to know that you're not going to be disrespected. Soft don't always get respect, y'all. I tried to be soft with a lot of people offline. I really thought that if the truth came out softly, that somehow we would clear it. It didn't happen. So I had to get in the emperor. I had to get in the emperor energy and say out. You know how the emperor be like out, like Eddie Murphy in the video. Do you remember the time? Michael Jackson came to my mind this morning. The song "Stranger in Moscow" came to me with Michael Jackson, and the one song, "I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize. I see the kids in the street." That song came to me, and I'm like, okay, so this needs to be the video topic. We've been victims of people who are selfish. Why would that song come to me? Um, so basically, what we have been taught is that we're supposed to be helping people who are in our family and our friendship circle, but those people are not in need. I know we say they're in need. No, they're not in need, because if they were in need, they would actually give gratitude. Like um, people who aren't privileged, they actually give gratitude. They will give gratitude and say, "Thank you very much." If someone's not saying, and I'm not talking about privilege as far as race, because anybody can actually be privileged. We have people in our families that are privileged, same skin color, but they got family privileges. People who aren't grateful of your help, and you know that they have privileges in your family, they're using you. Like no one should be acting entitled to your help when they got everybody helping them already. I have somebody in my family like that. They act like I'm supposed to always help them, even though they got Paul, Peter, John, and Mary helping them, and they know I don't. So one way you can test to see if somebody using you is to be like, I don't got nobody helping me, and see if they'll help you, even though you have been helping them a lot. See if they'll be like, I got you. But make sure that they're not asking for a deposit before they help you, like to mostly dump on you. So one way to know when you're being used, if someone expects you to cater to their energy a whole lot before they will even help you a little bit. So basically, the percentage of helping in a relationship is mostly on you. You're doing like 90% of the helping, they're doing 10%. You're still being used. The 10% ain't enough to cover 90%. It's not even nowhere near matching that. So you need to look at it like, I'm still being used. I was actually being a sacrificial lamb, where I was like, well, at least they're helping a little bit. But before I knew it, because I was accepting that 10%, the 90% of help I could have got over here, I wasn't over there. See what I'm saying? I was over here with the 10%. So if you always feel like right when you're about to have a leap into some major help for yourself, but this person always seems to contact you for help, they're using you. They pretty much learned the way you move. People learn the way you move to know when to come in and ask for help. They're paying attention to when the last time you helped them, the last time a day, when you're in your power, and they will call. Some people will purposely call you at the same time. Now this is another time. This is another sign that you're being used. When you got people calling you at the same time every day in the same damsel in distress energy, same time, like between 8 and 9, 8 and 9, 8 and 9, or 7 and 8. It's like, why are you calling me at this time? Emotionally dumping on somebody on a daily basis is still using them, because it's actually trying to hog up all the emotional love. It's actually saying, me need emotional love. You don't always have to be used for money. You can be used emotionally. So be careful of people just using you to fill up their emotional cup while yours stay, with crumbs. I used to think that that wasn't using. I used to think that if someone just constantly emotionally dumped on me, it was my job to be just have compassion. But what I noticed is my body would start to hurt. I would notice that all of a sudden, whatever I needed to do to help myself, all of a sudden I'm procrastinating. So whatever energy that I had, positive energy that I had, and clarity I had for myself, they took it when they were emotionally dumping on me. So always look at consistent emotional dumping as using you. They're using you to be their dumpster. Okay? Remember that before someone could use you for something physically, they got to use you spiritually. Spirit is always first. And some people, they use you for some sort of energy upgrade. So here's another sign. If every time you talk to the same person, they have an energy upgrade, and suddenly you're pushing through, they're using you. They know that they're having an energy upgrade, but why do they keep coming for that same upgrade? Like, why are they making it a habit and knowing that they could tell the energy shifted? Like, suddenly you're in the struggle energy and they're not. If you keep switching places energy with someone, and then you're in a lower vibe and they're in a higher vibe suddenly, and this is frequently happening, they're using you. Now, here's another thing. If every time you share if every time you share information about someone in a family or a friendship circle that is generous, and then they go run there and don't even tell you that they're going there to get help, they're using you. Because why don't they tell you too? Why don't they say, hey, why don't me and you call this person and get some help? Why they go by themselves? Because they want to use you. People that use you want to get it all, normally want to get there before you. They're competing with you. I have someone in my family that I can't even mention a possible generous resource, or they will literally, as soon as they get off the phone with me, they on it. But they will make it seem like they never did it. They will make it seem like, and then I'll get a download or a scripture or confirmation not to trust the person. Or the people will say, yeah, I spoke to them and helped them. And I'm like, that was right after I told them. But the funny thing about it is that they will never say, yeah, I got help. Maybe you could go there and get help. They will just go get the help and act like they didn't get the help. And know that we need the same thing, that we both in need. See, that's somebody using you. I have a family member who does that. And the reason why they do that is because they want to get the biggest cheese and want to get it before you, just in case you decide to use the resource too. But this person will hear that this person is um, doing their will. And then next you know, they're calling that person all the time. But it's like, all of a sudden, it's like they're acting like you. Don't get it twisted. Some people can use you to learn how to act like you. That's all they want to do is learn how to act like you. If you notice somebody is suddenly cutting you off to get to the next vibrational version of you, every time y'all talking or doing stuff, they're using you. I have a person in my family where as soon as I'm about to flip into a high vibrational personality trait of mine, they will literally cut me off in mid conversation and just do it every single time. Um, Here's another sign that you're being used, and some of y'all may not realize this. When you are in your high vibrational flow state, that person is listening, and you can sense that they're like studying you with their energy. They're not actually trying to like get inspired by what you're saying. They're not trying to be moved by you. They're like studying you. Um, whenever I whenever I'm in my best energy in flow state, my personality, my witty, dry humor, and the person I'm talking to get real still and frozen, almost like they're like centering themselves with me. They're getting in alignment with my energy. I know that that person is using me. I had someone on this channel do that, and I had someone in my family do that for like 2 months straight. And then I noticed that whenever I would be at the highest version of my humor or personality trait, they would say, "Hold on," and they would cut me off, and then and they would do it. It was like they were trying to predict how I would turn my phrases, how I would say certain things, and then they would interrupt me and do it. When someone keeps doing that, they're actually using you for an abundant personality trait. If someone just keeps cutting you off and imitating your humor, your swag, the way you talk, the way you joke, and they're using you, but they're not using you like you think. They're not using you to take control over you. They're using you to get somebody who y'all are in contact with. So they may be trying to be like you because they're trying to charm someone that y'all both know who have something that they want. So they're basically trying to use you to attract other people. I had someone doing this and they literally was able to become friends with all my friends. They hijacked my demeanor, my firm energy, my just my whole way I carried myself. They hijacked that, and then they went talking to my friends behind my back, and then all my friends became their friends. And what ended up happening was because they were talking behind my back, those old friends started talking behind my back. So next thing I know, it was like this person was a version of me from an alternate reality that was toxic and fake and using my old friends as a weapon against me to push me out of me so they could just run around out here and be me. This really happened to me, y'all. So what I'm saying is don't always think someone's just using you for money and ideas. A lot of people are just using you for some sort of special trait about you. They're assessing you, they're learning you. Hi, everybody. I'm doing okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. So we have some people in here. All right. Okay. I want to moisturize my face a little bit more. All right. People shouldn't be getting. Why is everybody getting that negative on a Sunday? Trying to clear out their energy before Monday? Dumping? When people come in here and dump on me, they're using me because Of course, they're going to keep listening to me and then dump on me. People that cross your boundaries are always users. No one is disrespecting you because they like you. A lot of people are disrespecting you not because they dislike you. They're disrespecting you because you working with something that they want, and they're aggravated that they got to use you for it. Some people actually get triggered by the fact that they have to count on you for something. They have to use you to get it. So if they have a love hate relationship with you, I know there is some manosphere dudes on YouTube who come through my channel. They have a love hate relationship with me because they're like, I really don't want to use an older woman of color um, for this knowledge, so I'm triggered. I can't really say she's ugly. I can't really say she's old looking. So I'll try to make everybody think she fat. And actually, as I said to y'all yesterday, I stood up. My belly is nowhere near as big as my legs and my breasts. So, as I said, I got a full face and my neck does not look fat. I don't got no rolls. I don't got that. Often when somebody is real fat, they definitely will have some rolls and stuff, rolls. But as I was saying, people that attack you are also the users. Always keep that in mind. Nobody's attacking you and keeping in touch with you and stalking you and not using you. Y'all know there's a girl here, girl on YouTube. I'm not gonna say her name. She attacks me live in videos, all while repeating my content, all while saying what I said. It's a love hate relationships. Narcissists hate the fact that they have nowhere to go but to you, and that they have to do all type of tricks to use you. They hate that, so they will take some time to attack you. It's kind of like punishing you for being the one that they got to use, especially if they see that if they think that there's some other thing about you they don't like. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. Grand Rising, y'all. I didn't became the moisturizer. Moisturizer lady, y'all. I ain't even playing no more. Okay. Okay. Your face, you can't hide your face from nobody. Everybody see your face. Y'all better start taking y'all face seriously. Keeping people out of your face. Keeping people out of your face. So if some of y'all want to know what I'm using this right here. Okay, warm vanilla. This would be really nice if somebody put rose oil in here, but they didn't know no better. Whoever invented this, they didn't know to add rose oil in the lotion. But getting back on subject, y'all. Another sign that um somebody is using you. And this is a big one. Okay? You help them, they disappear. You help them, they disappear. You help them, it's a cycle. You're like, how come they always taking this help and running? Like, or every time you help them, suddenly you hear they're living their best life, and they're not even like, they're acting like y'all never talked. They're acting like y'all not even cool, and they're acting like you never even helped them. They may even be like talking like they already knew what you knew. They was already able to do what you told them to do. It gets really, really fake, y'all. Hi, everybody. Okay, self care, y'all. I want to do the rest of my hair while I'm talking to y'all. The Empress is like, I don't sacrifice my self care for nobody. Not even for a YouTube video. So another sign that somebody is using you. When you start to see when they're not actually asking you for help, but you start to see y'all life is matching. How many of y'all had people in your life where you're like, why is our life matching? Like, I know I'm not helping you. I know you're not asking me, but every time you show up, we got the same thing going on. Okay. Let me tell you, some people use you to learn your frequency that get your power so they can match your life. Let me say that again. Some people learn your frequency. They use you to learn your frequency so they can get powers that will manifest the same life. I got somebody doing that to me right now. If some of y'all know what I don't know what I'm doing with my hair, this is called licking. Okay? For some of y'all 4C hair girls, sometimes you just wet your hair and you just, maybe put a little bit of oil on it and just lick it. If it isn't really moisturizing, you just take it apart and you re-moisturize it. So I'm just pulling the sebum through. But yeah, y'all. So that's a big sign. I had somebody in my life right now where we keep every single week is like we matching again. We matching again. It's really weird. Okay. Um, and let me tell you what some people do so they when they use you for your frequency, which is, as we said, it's a spiritual violation. You've been violated. When someone keeps matching you in your life and you're not even sharing your life with them and you're not even telling them, they're doing some sort of spiritual violation. What they're most likely doing is they're doing the same spiritual work as you, even maybe same exercises, or walking the time you will walk, and they're thinking about you. They're meditating on your energy as they are doing spiritual work, which is getting monitoring spirits to tell them what you're doing. Now, they may try to lie and say, no, I got the download from God. Meanwhile, monitoring spirit gave them your download, and that's why they keep matching your life. They're following your download. Basically, monitoring spirits is running to them a vibrational version of your Akashic record that is for your life growth. So that's why they keep matching you. Hi, everybody. Somebody say you're not playing no more. Yeah, it could be a form of destiny swapping. Y'all, let me tell y'all, if there's one thing you do, if you really want to stay in touch with God physically, let me tell y'all what y'all got to do. Okay, this is how you stay in touch with your destiny energy. We're gonna talk about that. Somebody mentioned destiny swapping. I'm gonna give y'all this little download. Y'all gotta buy my article today. My article is for sale, y'all. On part one. One of my articles on finding your destiny is for sale today, y'all. Okay, I'm selling my articles for $11. $11, y'all. If you want to buy my articles, email me and you can buy my article today. I have a couple of articles on that will teach you on how to find your destiny and life purpose. Okay? Thank you, Wendell, for buying one of the articles today. Thank you very much. Um, I will send you one of the articles today. Thank you very much, Wendell. And we will do our phone consultation. I will be on the phone with Wendell very soon. He's a sub on his channel, and I'm gonna be talking to him about his destiny and life path and all, and the research that I got and the downloads I got for him. But there's three things you got to do every day, and this is going to help you. This is going to help you get protection, so people can't use you. Okay, if you're being used, this is a way you can protect yourself from users. You may think it's not going to work, but it does work. You have to take very good care of the part of the body that they are using. When people use you, they are literally using a part of your body. I know that sounds wild, like, why did Miss B say that? Well, y'all know I'll say some stuff to shock you, that will shock you. They are. Using is a form of using is intimate. Y'all, it's sensual, it's sexual. It's sexual, y'all. So keep that in mind. So when you get used, you need to research uh, the energy that they used to use you, and then you have to find out what that energy dominates in your destiny. Because people, when people use you, they're using your destiny. Okay, they're harvesting from your destiny buffet. That's what they're doing. They would only pick what's best about you. They're not going to sell. They're not using you for something that's not worth anything. Whatever they use you for has high value. So it must be a part of your destiny. So whatever y'all, my hearing y'all, I want to apologize to everybody if I sound loud. I told y'all that this ear, the doctors have been working on. They actually put me on some medication to unblock this ear. So it feels like I got a little bit of a pillow over this ear, so I can't really tell how loud I'm talking, y'all. Please forgive me for talking loud. I didn't even realize it until um, I went to the doctor. But anyway, whatever the people have used you for, once again, that energy is connected to a body part. Okay? So, and if they keep using that specific body part, guess what's going to happen? They will end up learning that specific part of your frequency that's for that body part. And then you won't be able to use it. This is what we call having a delay. Like, I'm having a delay. I can't do this. Somebody look at it like somebody bit off that piece of your destiny and they're currently working with it energetically. They may not even be doing what you're doing in your destiny, but they're still using that energy in some other kind of way that still matches the the story, a part of the story of your destiny. Okay? Some of y'all may not know, I'm chosen to have the secrets of the universe. That's my destiny. Okay? That's my destiny. My primary destiny energy, some of y'all may not know this, is the emperor. And I'm talking to Wendell right now in an email about this. I want y'all to understand that the creator does not discriminate, and it's not looking at your gender. When your destiny is assigned to you, it's not based upon your gender, your physical gender. It's based upon the work that your soul haven't done yet. Okay? It might have learned it, but they haven't done it. You may have learned something on the other side, but you just haven't done it yet in society. So technically, I'm an emperor. My destiny is an emperor for the spiritual world. I'm a celestial emperor for the spiritual world, for the secrets of the universe. So when I can explain these things like this on the spur of the moment, that's because I have the highest rank spiritually. Um, there is, unless someone else can still have that rank, but my destiny is the highest rank. So my point, what I want to tell y'all is that if you worry about people using you, understand your rank is going to help determine the karma that they're going to get. Okay? So don't worry too much about that. Just stay within your rank. And the angels, they have to serve that person karma depending on, based upon your rank, based upon um, whatever energy they took from you based upon your rank. So, for example, I had somebody recently using me basically to find out when to make money, when to bet on place bets, when to invest in stuff, when to get a job. They kept using me for that. What they didn't know is that that's what an emperor is supposed to help you with. So they didn't even know that they were using my actual destiny, a main part of my destiny. They didn't even know. So what happened was the part where they would like get a partner, the creator blocked that. The creator said, "You're gonna use this person for money, fine, but guess what's gonna happen? You're not going to have the other part, a partner. You're not going to have that part. You'll be alone with that blessing. Every time you need want to get somebody, you ain't going to be able to keep nobody. So don't worry too much when people use you, because a part of your destiny that they didn't take will be the part that they're blocked in. Okay? So let's say somebody use you up, and your rank, your celestial being, and your rank as an empress. You're doing the empress work in this life. Now don't compare ranks. It doesn't mean that an empress is more favored than a knight in this life. It doesn't mean that. Don't compare. That's another sign that someone likes to use you. Is every time they compare, then one up and all that. That's still a user. I still find that as a user. So don't look at like your destiny rank is like, oh, lower than somebody else's. No, because you can still get as rich as an emperor or an empress, provided that you don't abuse your rank. And the same thing goes for them. So I do want to explain that to people about destiny ranks. That's your place on the chessboard. It doesn't mean that you're more favored. Okay? I plan on doing a whole video series on destiny. I have people emailing me destiny, and it's like, I think I need to just do a workshop and invite everybody, because all this emailing individual people, repeating myself, is starting to, give me fatigue. So I think I might need to do a workshop so everybody can get it in the workshop, and people just buy the replays. But as I was saying, now your destiny energy, your destiny energy will always be what makes people want to use you. Okay? And the more you are in your destiny and it shows, the harder you will get people to use you, and the more people you'll get more people using you. You'll find that everywhere you go, it's like everybody's just like, help me, help me, help me, help me. Because you'll put out a vibration that like you're from heaven. You know, people don't feel it's wrong to use somebody if they feel like you got heavenly energy. They think they're entitled to use you. But you still have to remember that you are human. You are a celestial being in a human body. Especially if you're celestial. So you have to be like, I still got to make it on earth. So I still can't let them use me. I can understand that they're attracted to my energy and it makes them want to use me. But I still have to think about my well-being. Hi, everybody. So, don't hate the people that's using you. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be disgusted and offended. But don't get hateful, because understand that your vibration is coming off like you're an angel. It's coming off that way. So they're coming at you like, save me, save me, save me, save me. To them, they feel like you have enough. You're good, you're covered enough. So you owe the world. You owe them. A lot of people that use you feel like you were spoiled. Like you're doing a lot better than them. You always have it better than them. And even though the evidence isn't always there, when they compare, they're not basing it upon that. They're basing it upon how you look, how you feel, how you're acting. The way you act and the way you feel makes people want to use you. I used to think it was, oh, it's my race, it's my age. It may be my age sometime, because people say, well, you're older, you've had it all, you're wise. Give me some of that wisdom, give me some on, you know. But I know that most of the time it is because I'm a bright light and I have this sun, and and my energy seems like it's, it expands. Some people's energy don't automatically expand, so they're like, they want to ride on you. They want to ride on your energy. They're desperate. So try not to be hateful of people that use you. I just want to, I just want to get that out there. So we're going to talk a little bit more about why people use you. I got to make sure I get some moisture in his head early. Okay. Always start your day with moisture. The Empress, she about moisturization. She don't want to be dry. 8 a.m. is a dry time. So try to get some, moisture in. But as I was saying, if you feel like somebody's using you, 9 times out of 10, you're normally right. Your gut will normally tell you when somebody's using you. If you feel sad and depressed around somebody all the time, and that's not how you showed up. Let's say you didn't show up sad, but you always walk away sad. They're using you. They're using you. You may not notice. Maybe you're caught up in a conversation. Maybe you were just in flow state, helping them. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, they were using you. And some people can use you and wipe your memory after they do. Yep. Some people have witchcraft power where they could do memory wiping. If they're an alien, if some people have an alien spirit, they know how to wipe your memories, wipe your mind. They do spell work to wipe your mind after they used you, so you don't even remember that they used you. I had someone doing that to me. I could never remember exactly how the conversations went. Like within a couple hours later, I couldn't remember. And what ended up happening is I had to start tracking my scripture numbers and assessing my energy to see what was going on. And then I noticed, I said, okay, why does it keep saying, let them go, let them go, let them go? Let me tell you something. When the creator wants you to let somebody go or something go, it's because it's using you. Anything that is beneficial to you, the creator's not going to want you to let go. Okay? So if you're seeing scripture numbers after you talk to people to say, let them go, release that person, move on, take a break from that person is using you. So you may not never know exactly how, but the angels then spoken and told you they know how. Okay? Because let me tell you, a lot of people, you think they're using you in your face, but behind your back, they're using you a lot more. If anyone uses you in your face, they're using you even more behind your back. Just keep that in mind. And a lot of people, how they will use you, this is a deep way. This is a real sick way. But this happened to me. They keep track of your blessings, and then they tell everybody that you're blessed and they're not blessed. So that they block you from getting any more blessings, but they get the blessings that you could have got. You could have got. So, but they don't want you to think that they're using you that way. They'll make it seem like they're just happy to hear about your blessings. Meanwhile, they just want to keep reporting your blessings to people so those people don't bless you. They'll tell other people you have enough, you're doing good enough, you don't need no more, they need more than you, all that type of stuff. Some people are using you just to find out how to block your blessing. They use you to keep track of you. So they purposely ask you questions about your life or stay quiet when you share your life. And this is why you'll say, how come ain't nobody else blessing me? How come I don't get gifts in the family? How come don't nobody just send me some money? You be like, why don't nobody help me in the family? Because they didn't ran back and told everybody what you got, what you doing. So that those people don't bless you. And they get the blessing instead. This is why, stop telling family members about your blessings. They shouldn't even know. I know y'all think it's okay. This is my family. I should be able to tell them that I got a house, I got a car. Y'all, some people want you to. They waiting for you to say that. So they can go tell your auntie and say, Auntie, They don't need no money from you. They just got a raise at their job. Give me the money. Give me the money. Y'all, there's somebody in my family doing that to me, but they think I don't know they doing that. They think I don't know. And how I caught them was when they slipped up and tried to make it seem like they knew about how much money I had coming in here. And that's when I knew, like, why is they trying to estimate how much money I got coming in? I said, they doing that for a reason. It ain't a good reason. So keep that in mind, y'all. When you tell people good things about you, some of them are waiting for you to that they could use that to play damsel in distress with other people. They'll say you're doing better than them, so they need the help more than you. Narcissists will, malignant narcissists will do that. That's how they trick. That's how they keep. That's how they keep their position as the golden child, especially in the family. Okay. Um. So we're gonna talk about other ways some people use you, and how well a sign that you're being used. This is a very weird sign, and most people will be like, "Nah, you can't blame it on that," but I tested it. Yeah. When you don't know if the person's using you, but you just know you're blocked every time you're done talking to them. I have a person in my life where every time I'm done talking to them, I'm late for everything. I'm creatively blocked. And it's like, wait a minute. I don't see how they used me, but they did. And then I realized what they did was just take my energy. That's it. You know, they basically took my fuel. And now that's why I don't got it to use. um so yeah, they took the motivation. See, everything is a manifestation. Even a way of being is a manifestation. Motivation is a manifestation. So some people just use you for motivation. The motivation that they know you would have for yourself, they show up to use you for that. They might have found out that at that time of day, you're in your power, you're exercising, you're running, you're jogging. So they say, well, let me call you at this time to get your motivational energy. And then once they got it, you'll notice they'll say, oh, well, let me call you back. I'll call you back. And as soon as you go to do what you want to do, you'll be like, whoa, I ain't got no energy. What happened? What happened? So, yeah. Now, here's another thing. When somebody uses you, this is another sign that somebody's using you. When you help people and you start getting sick, y'all, I know that is using somebody and they in your life just to use you, because you'll say, oh, I'm getting sick. You know, I don't know why, whatever. And they'll go, I'm getting better. Let me tell you, when someone uses you, as I said, it is still sensual. It is still intimate, sexual. So they transfer their parasites to you. It was a transfer. It's always a transfer. They want to give you. No one can take from you without giving to you. The Creator has it that way. But if they're parasitic, then what they gave you is going to make you sick. If somebody always call you only when they sick, they're using you. What they're trying to do is pass their spiritual parasites onto you. That's what they're trying to do. And it's normally through your compassion. Be careful about giving out compassion, y'all. Compassion means that you will accept their sickness too. Especially if you're a natural born physical healer or spiritual healer, where you just heal people being in their presence. If you're giving compassion to somebody all the time and somebody just using you for compassion, You're saying that you're saying you're open to their sicknesses, y'all. So that kept happening to me. I couldn't understand. I couldn't even talk about the person. The person was matching my energy so much and had dumped on me so much and was taking compassion from me so much that I couldn't even say their name anymore without getting sick. I would literally have a headache or my chest would start hurting. It would feel like somebody's like digging into the left side of my brain. And what it was the person's, whatever their struggle was and their destiny energy was coming into me. See, when you give compassion to other people and people use you for compassion over and over again, you are saying you willing to accept the work, the toxicity of their destiny. You cannot heal people without receiving the toxicity of their destiny. So, maybe they're in a low vibrational version of their destiny. And then once you show compassion, you receive it, and then their destiny is in high vibration. But whatever you received of that elemental energy in their destiny, it's now blocking your destiny. Y'all, it's wild. Now, this is what I also found out. If every time you deal with somebody, you feel insane, like you feel like they're always driving you insane. I see that as using me because if they wanted us both to be positive, they would not be driving me insane. So I feel like when somebody try to drive me insane, they're trying to become sane. That's why they're driving me insane. All right. I have somebody in my life that constantly listens closely to say sharp and sensitive things. That's their technique. So they like to stab at me. Basically, they're trying to steal my spiritual blood. They're stabbing at me in the conversation, draining spiritual blood from my brain, this side of my brain. And then once they feel like they're mentally strong, then they want to go. Then they don't want to talk no more. But I'm sitting up there with a stabbing pain on the left side of my head. See what I'm saying, y'all? So if somebody constantly only calls you when they're insane, when they're out of control, they're using you. Okay? They're using you to transfer their insanity. They may not be necessarily trying to take something from you, but they darn sure are trying to transfer something to you. Their state of being. This is why the first 3 hours of your day, y'all, and the last 3 hours, y'all need to disappear. It's real hard for people to use you when you're not available in the first 3 hours of your day and the last 3 hours. When y'all get done eating dinner and y'all live with toxic people, be like, I'm going to my room. Don't sit around and hang around. Don't sit around and hang around. The first 3 hours of your day, be like, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to work. As a matter of fact, some of y'all need to make up a job. Even if you don't have a job, just start telling people you got a job. Like, for real. Say, I'm going to work. If you just send somebody using you all the time, start saying, I got to go to work. I got to go to work. Now, I'm going to tell you no lie. At some point, they're going to be like, why you always say that when I call? How come you don't ever have time for me? Say, I got to work. I got to pay my bills. That will get you out of that situation quick. If you're an introvert like me when you're not working, okay? I'm naturally an introvert, a real introvert, and I will talk about what real introvertness is. It's not what people are saying. A real introvert likes their own company more than the company of people. It's not that they're antisocial. It's not that they can't take toxic people. It's not that they're sensitive or shy or they're afraid to talk or they have social anxiety. It's not that. They just prefer their own company. Like me, I run my own company, but I get on here. Um, I get on. I show up and I be introvert when I have to do my work. But other than that, just like a Tibetan emperor, I'm cool. I prefer my solitude. I just like my own company. Start liking your own company. Now, it may not come natural to you if you have a very social destiny. That's what's going to make it hard for you to block users and abusers, because that's what they are. Users or abusers. Okay? And if they can't use you, then they'll just abuse you even more. They'll just get worse with their abuse. They'll just step up their abuse, go harder on it. Some people will force the energy out of you, you know? They'll say, "Oh, you're blocking me. I can't use you. When I talk to you, we're going to fight so I could get the energy." But start using working, you know, make up a job, y'all. I'm seriously. When you out in these streets, don't even tell people you ain't working. Say, "I'm a private caregiver," you know, or "I clean people's houses," or something like that, you know. And if they say weird, say that's none of your business. I don't tell people where I teach. Because let me tell you, when people think you don't work, they think you're always available to be emotionally used. They say, "Well, you don't work. You should be you should be helping me. You don't got nothing else better to do. You're not working." That's what people think. And you could just cater to them emotionally. So I hope this video helped you. Another thing I realized with finding out if people have been using you, okay, is this is another sign. You don't have no opportunities and rewards coming through. And you can't explain it. Now, this is going to trigger some people. The main people that be using you is the main people who will not tell you what they do, but always want to be in what you do. They always want to be a part of what you're doing, but they never mention what their interests are. They keep it a secret. Those people are using you. They doing the same thing. They want to do the same thing you're doing, but they're not telling you because they know that you'll probably shut it down and stop letting them use you. Now, I got a download that a couple people on this channel was doing that to me, hiding, hiding that they want to do what I'm doing. And first of all, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell everybody this. This is how to identify maybe if you're a user. If you're not sure if you're a user, if you're a Destiny user, if you feel very drawn to do something all because you was able to observe other people doing it, if that's where the passion got strong and high at, then you may be a user. I never watched people do this. I never surfed YouTube. I never sat in live videos watching people give the secrets of the universe or spiritual stuff. I don't even watch videos of people teaching law of attraction, manifesting. I don't watch those videos. I don't watch people talking about destiny and spiritual, how to find your destiny and stuff. I don't watch that because I don't need to. When you're chosen to do something, you don't even have to listen to other people teach it. It's something that will come to you naturally. You don't need a springboard. Okay? Your angel guides will tell you stuff about that subject before you even go researching it. Okay? For example, I never knew anything about the success of Charles Bukowski. I didn't even know he was famous. I didn't even know anything about Yeats or none of them. I didn't even know who won what Pulitzer Prize. I didn't know none of that when I pursued poetry. I read a poem and I knew I was a poet. I knew it. The moment I read it, I said, "This is me." I had that same feeling that Charles Bukowski said he had when he read a poem. He said one day his friend gave him a poem and he said, this is me. This is what's going to save me. I got that same message from God when I read a poem when I was like 12 years old. I also got the same message from God when I was like, oh, I want to know what my destiny is or whatever. I was like, yeah, I'm interested in finding out what my destiny is. And I knew then I said, that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay? Hi, everybody. Oh, thank you very much. I am on the roll, y'all. Hi, Tunnel. Yeah. Wait for God to tell you to do it. If you ain't sure what your destiny is, sit it out. Sit it out. I'm telling you no lie. When I took my leap on this channel to give the secret to the universe, I was just sitting in here in silence. I was frozen. I was just frozen in here. It was like shortly before 2019. And I was sitting it out, sitting it out. And one time I sat in here for 6 days. I only got up to shower and grab food. I just kept on sitting, kept on sitting. And my family member was like, you've been in there for 6 days. Are you ever going to come out that room? I was like, I'm just sitting. And then the message came through. I started getting downloads about law of attraction. I started getting downloads about family stuff. All of a sudden, all these downloads about family and relationships and the wicked people and all. I'm like, why is all this stuff coming to me? And then when I got destiny, and then I didn't know it was called transformation though, y'all. I didn't know that's what the word was. That what I was doing was helping people with transformations. Okay. Which I'm doing with y'all right now. Your transformation right now is making sure that you set up boundaries. So, that's what the Taurus energy, that's what the month of April teaches you. Is standing your ground, firm. But don't let people rush you, make you rush in. Don't be bullheaded. If you feel like somebody just using you for toxic entertainment and to get claps and coins and bread, like people use bulls. People always want to use bulls to get popular, or get a record label or whatever. Be like, no, no, no. The thing about the month of April is that people may be driven to always put their head in something. Like someone's using you, you'll be like, oh, you bump my head, I bump your head. Do you know when someone bumps your head all the time, that is literally another way of using you? I mean, think about your crown chakra. It's full of gems. Someone goes like this, crack. They're trying to steal your gems. They want your gems to fall out. They want your wisdom to come tumbling out your mouth. Okay? The vibration of the gems of your crown come through. If you could see what your true self look like, and when you are divine, you're literally wearing a crown. Everything that we are doing physically is spiritually. When you see pictures of crowns like this, that is what we're wearing. Our metaphysical self is walking around. When first of all, when the moment you go into your destiny is when you have accept your crown. Okay? A lot of us is walking around with our crown crooked because we only halfway in the destiny, or somebody else is tipping it, sitting on this end, we on this end. Somebody riding our destiny, our crown. So that's why our crown is on crooked. But when people challenge you, and that's what's going on, there's energy challenging going on right now. What they're trying to do is trying to one up your knowledge that's coming through your crown. See, we all have access to a certain type of knowledge that is gems in our crown. And is chosen for us specifically based upon our destiny. And some people want to peck off that crown. And if you're not being generous and just giving it, then they want to battle you to force it from you. Okay, hi everybody. Yeah, they want to, somebody says slam it into it. Yeah, exactly. Right off the bat. How many of y'all have had somebody walk up on you and immediately it's like bam, 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 bam with their energy? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. They didn't already assess you from afar. They didn't see you before, maybe. They didn't assess your energy. They know that you're strong. They can sense that you're blessed. So that's why they coming in like pow, pow. They coming in busting on your crown like, give it to me. Give it to me. You know, anytime somebody is forceful with their with first approach, coming in real charging in real hard like that, you know, without even a minute for you to say hello. No, y'all. That person is like, I'm trying to bust through your crown chakra so that you can accept what I'm bringing, and then I can get some more from it, from you. They're like, take this subject, take this thing, take what I'm saying, take it, take it, take it, until you just give in and you start sharing what you know about it. And then they run off with what you said. And they try to say, hey, they was the original keeper of the Akashic record. So they don't feel wrong taking it from you. They say, I'm the one who brought the subject up. I'm the one who mentioned it. So they don't feel wrong. Whatever knowledge that, whatever knowledge that you brought on it. This is why, y'all, when people come charging in, like that, sometimes you just sit there and listen and be like, I'm going to keep whatever downloads I got, I'm keeping to myself. They shouldn't have came charging in. They're trying to bust their head. They're trying to bust their head into my head until I get tired of it and I join in and give them some bread. No, I'm not. No, y'all. Love and peace and grace gets bread. You don't get to eat at the end. I tell everybody this. You don't get to eat at the emperor's table unless you bring in some peace. Bring some peace and respect and some grace, and then you can eat at the emperor's table. You can get some bread. But some people want to intimidate you with how they charge in, and some people will keep charging in that way. Keep charging in that way. And the people that constantly put you down is also using you. But they may like put you down as far as gender or your age. And they trigger you with that, and then that humbles you, okay? Or it lowers your spirit, and then you become vulnerable. And next thing you know, you're catering to their ego. You're trying to keep the peace. Even though you're offended. See, divine ones be like, I don't feel like arguing. I'm just going to go ahead and be peaceful while this person is, offending me on a slide, on a sneak tip. But guess what? They will ask for confirmation. Yeah, you agree? Do you agree? You feel what I'm saying? They will say that. Some people, that's all they want to know, if they have any validation for their toxicity. They will use you only for validation for toxicity. Be careful of someone always calling you with toxic political views. I know we think that's not using sometimes. That's just them like upset with society, outraged, offended by society, or mad at Trump, or mad at mad at Congress. But y'all, sometimes y'all, that's people trying to get validation for their narcissism or whatever belief that they got. Okay? Whatever political belief. And they could be trying to override your political beliefs. Sometimes people just want to use you to prove that they're more right about stuff. if let's say you just keep on saying you're right, yeah, you're right, okay, and they say you see my point, you see my point. I know people like that, that they don't even want you to have your own perspective. If you bother to even share a perspective, they shut you down. They talk over you. They cut you off in the conversation. If this keeps happening, they are using you for an ego boost. You're talking to somebody who's insecure, and they are counting on you to get them to confidence. Give them some confidence energetically every single time they talk to you. And you're not responsible to give people confidence every single day. Just because you got it don't mean that's your job. You know, I had put that burden on me. I said, I'm really good at getting my self esteem level up. If my self esteem is a little low, I know how to get it up by myself. I know how to get it up. You know, I know to listen to audiobooks. I know to play some videos. I know to do affirmations. I know to go to my scriptures. I know to do some journal prompts. But it's not just because I know to do all that and to do some self care, even micro dose myself self care. Sometimes you do gotta micro dose yourself self care to boost your confidence up. I know to do that, but that don't mean I have to do that for somebody else 24/7 every time they talk to me. See, you're still being used. You know, I know some of y'all say, well, I want people to love themselves too. I know somebody who don't love themselves. But getting paid for your service is love for yourself too. Why can't you get that? That's still loving them. That's still loving them. Trading, bartering, trading. Like I helped them with their confidence. They helped me. Some people think that they don't owe you nothing for helping them with confidence. You do. They owe you. Okay? Yeah, you may as a celestial being be like, I do owe the world. I do owe some earthlings confidence boost. Cause they so physical. They need all the confidence boost they could get. But you still need to eat. So my thing is, you have to tell people, okay, I know you think that you using me for a confidence boost every single day. Like even your parents do that. Don't lie, some of y'all parents is doing that. They want to call you with all their health problems. They want to call you with all their job problems and all. That's using you still for some sort of confidence and peaceful energy they want to get and all of that. They may say, oh, I feel like I'm not making enough money at my age. I got left behind at my age. Ain't nothing wrong with you coming in, but at some point you need to say, okay, I already helped you with this yesterday. Now what you doing for me? What you doing for me? You I helped you. Now it's your turn. But guess what? Most people who are using you, they will not allow you to say it's their turn. They hate that. When you say, you know what, I helped you already. It's your turn. They'll go, come on. I don't mind helping you. You know I will. They'll say that. They'll say, what are you talking about? I helped you in the past. That was the past. This is a whole different situation. Okay? If you say that, they'll go, you know what, you're getting smart. You're getting ignorant. I know people like that. They refuse you to call them out and say, I feel used. Like, I think divine ones, we got to start going for the juggler sometime. The spiritual juggler. Not the body, the spiritual juggler only. Where we be like, cut. You're using me. It's your turn to give back. If you want to test anybody, and they say, how am I using you? Say, I just spent the last 2 weeks helping you. I got nothing from you. Not a crumb, nothing. If they feel triggered, if they feel outraged, then that's all they were in your life for. They only was there to use you. That's all. Now, that's the ultimate test. That's the ultimate test. If you be like, I don't know if Ms. V right about this, go ahead and be like, let me go ahead and put it to the test and see if they get offended when I say it's their turn to give. Their turn. One of the ways you get rewarded is to start telling people, hey, they got to come through too. You got to help me too. Okay? Now, guess what? This is what you can do. Stop helping and say, that's going to cost you $5. Treat it like treat it like it's a casino because they're treating you like you a free casino. People who use you is treating you like a free casino. Be like, soon as you sense they're using you, just have that one moment where you be like, I can help you with that. It's gonna cost you $10. If they try to run out, but I'm going through stuff. I'm going through stuff too. I still helped you out already. I still helped you out already. So, last week I helped you while I was going through stuff. So, that's going to cost you $5. Do not never let anyone run the family card. But we family. I would want to help family. Well, I'm family too. Don't let people say they family only when they want the money to flow that way. Say, I'm family too. Family's supposed to be helping family too. You're supposed to be helping me too. You better figure out something to do for me. Something. Because it's your turn. We playing a game. This is all a game, y'all. Do y'all know we are in a game? This is one big game we in. We all in here champions. In our destiny in a game. And you better start telling people that's on your team to pull their weight. They got to bring a flag to you. You can't just be the one collecting all the flags and running it to them. Tell them they got to collect some flags, okay, and bring one to you, for real. Cause I'm telling you no lie, let me tell you, opportunities, they may not expire, but they do disappear sometime for a very long time. Opportunities will come back around. Somebody else will bring the opportunity, but the way you found that opportunity may not always come through that way. See what I'm saying? And you miss opportunities when you let people use you. You miss them. And that includes businesses. Okay? Let me tell you, here's another sign that you're being used. When you are always late to get the bag. That's the number one sign, y'all. Let's say you're going to get some money at 1 o'clock. You can get your views up on YouTube by 1 o'clock. You can, get more views at 2 o'clock or at 9 a.m. But like you always late, y'all. Somebody held you up. Whether they pushed you with some energy to help you up because they took the energy that you needed to be on time, they still did, y'all. I had somebody holding me up with combative energy they was in. And by the time I went to do my YouTube videos, I didn't even have enough time to do me to even show up for the YouTube video. So I had to cancel the YouTube video and schedule it at a later time. And then the download that I wanted to give to y'all expired at that time. So I had to get a different download for the later time. See what I'm saying? When you say people are able to get more than you and can leave you in the dust and do better than you, those people refuse to be used. They're not being used offline. They're not. They're not. That's why they're always on time. They're always on time to do YouTube videos. They're always on when everybody's on. They always publish their stuff when they need to publish it. They always hit their goals with their weight goals. People that never ever late for anything. Those people will not let themselves be used. They're constantly monitoring how the energy flow when they're talking to people so that they will not miss the bag. They will not miss their opportunities. I really hope y'all take this seriously because, we're coming up in June, with May and June. When we get to May and June, we could be getting into a lot of angel energy, y'all. And if you allow yourself to be used, you ain't going to have no project for the Creator to protect. Angels are going to be coming down to protect your destiny in June. Okay, by the end of May and June, that your whatever you were working on, whatever your life plan and vision is going to be protected. But you're not going to have one if you're being used. If anything, the people that use you is going to start getting those downloads. Whatever knowledge that you're giving them right now, they're going to use that for their May projects. And then they'll have a demonic angel protecting the project they took from you. You know, I tell people don't get it twisted. The devil has the same type of angels. The shadow world has the same type of angels as the light dimension. It's just that their angels are doing it for a wicked reason. Okay? And then when you get used too much, right when you're supposed to be starting new projects, and then they go off with your energy as a part of you, because people always become a part of you when they use you too long. That's just that naturally happens. And then when the shadow angels protect their stuff in June, and then they're talking to dark angel variations of the one that you got, what'll end up happening is that people won't even know that who the fake is because they used you 2 months before. So a lot of people use people to find out what work they're supposed to do, what plans they're supposed to have, what creations they're supposed to do. A lot of people do that in March and April. And then they take those seeds, they plant those seeds, then they have low vibrational demons protecting the seeds for them. And then if you do go say, hey, this person used me all through March, and April, used me up, no one's going to believe you. That was 2 months ago. That people's going, why didn't you do the same? Why didn't you do the same? You know, a lot of, image swapping and all that gets real strong come June. So right now, set up boundaries with whatever your work is. This, especially with your health work. People are using people for self-care and health breakthroughs right now. And for job breakthroughs. To get, tips and things like that. Some people want more tips on their videos and stuff right now. So that's why they're like, let me go ahead and watch you and all that type of stuff. Be careful of getting people out of health karma. Remember that you can't help people out of karma without saying you're willing to receive their karma. The energy flows both ways. So when you got somebody using you all the time to get out of karma, know that you are receiving some of their karma. And if it's not time for them to get out of their bad karma, their hard karma, then the creator may let you sit around with their karma for a while for getting in the way. Okay? I also like to consider users to be people who are also setting up boundaries on me after I help them. So they're basically being discreet while all up in my business. Those are the worst kind of users. Those are the users that are really notorious and very sneaky. I find that there's a lot of feminine energy, masculine feminine energy, that like to use other women in that way and make it seem like that's not what they're doing. Just be careful, of that because, the feminine energy, the masculine feminine energy, or the robust feminine energy right now, even the older energy, it may be like just secretly using you. So, or people over 30. So just be on guard of people over 30 using you right now. We always say young people using older people. But if people are having had heavy losses over the winter. Also, when people are like having a change of jobs, people are doing a career change right now as well. You got to be careful of being used. Some people will use you up until they get a new job or until they get in their new job for a while. And then once they're in a new job for a while, they don't even care about you. Once they get their first check, suddenly they're done using you. So, you know, say the month of March and April is the months when you be like, everybody got to pull their weight. Everybody got to do work. Don't help people for free all the time in the month of April. Have a designated time that you get back. Other than that, be like, as a matter of fact, I'm at a point now where I refuse to let any of these apps use me. That if I don't even see enough people in, I'm stopping the video. That even goes when you do live videos. If you're talking for like 20 minutes and that number don't go up to like at least 15, I say about 30 minutes and you don't see that number, the chat people number go up, be like, okay, I'm ending this video. Literally. Don't wait like a whole hour to wait to get 12, 15 people in your live video. Because you may be in a cycle where people are using you, where they're like, they just want to, wait for you to be done with the video and then come back and watch it when they want to use it and not tell you they're using it, and to get the bag. Some people, if you're very psychic and very powerful, they don't even want to be in your live videos. They think you're going to sense that they're doing what they're doing. So a lot, if you don't see people willing to show up on the numbers in your live videos, you may want to be like, am I being used right now? Codependency is you also signing up to be used. I know we think this is like dependency on someone else is like using them. But you can be used being dependent on somebody else too. Where you be like, you might do a whole lot of work just to get a little bit from them. Because you codependent on them. Maybe you're living in fear. Sometimes when people live in fear, they'll do a whole lot of work for a little bit. So one thing I found out when you're doing your businesses right now and starting new businesses, you need to track the growth very carefully when you first put those products out. And you're better off taking it off the shelf and putting it back on at a later time than have your stuff out there and you're just getting crumbs. Okay, don't let this world use you. Hi everybody. Don't let this world use you. Make sure that you are monitoring whether you are getting yours. And if you're not getting yours, even in these apps, even on the uploaded video, frankly, once you get like 3,000 subs or whatever on your YouTube, if you're not getting close to 1,000 views on your videos, you need to, put your videos up maybe at a different time. Maybe you're putting your videos up at a time where, you're wasting your time. So you're kind of letting yourself be used for nothing. If you want to let yourself be used, get something out of it. For real, like make sure you're getting something enough out of it that you can be satisfied with. So for me, I don't find 500 views satisfying. I just don't, and I never will. I don't care if I start a new channel. What is that going to do for me? If I stick with 500 views every video for like 2 years, I'm not getting anywhere. That's not even enough for me to pay my rent for the month. But if I get at least 3,000 views or very close to it, between 2,000 and 3,000 per video, then okay, I'm kind of not being used. And if I get donations on my video and money sent to my Cash App, okay, I'm not being used. I'm not being used. I'm not being taken advantage of. You have to strategize to make sure you're not accidentally letting yourself be used for nothing or for crumbs when you know what you did is worth more. So, for example, I am literally taking a lot of videos off this channel. I'm doing video downloading, video downloading, video downloading. And here's the reason why. The people that's coming that may be using my video, they're getting more out of it than me. I didn't get no views on those videos. I didn't get enough views to keep them up. It's better that you have stuff out there in the world that is really bringing you stuff, bringing you what you need, or don't have it out there at all. Like, just don't put it out there. It doesn't take 5 years or 10 years to get enough um, abundance coming through where you don't feel used. It doesn't take that long. So if you're publishing books, some of y'all are writing books, some of y'all are going to be putting books out there. The first few months of that publication, you should be seeing some growth. If you only see 5 purchases and your book's been out there for like 5 months, no, just unpublish the book. Nope, unpublish it. Maybe you published it at the wrong time. Maybe people are too critical of the cover. Maybe you need to, rework the book and do it a different way. Okay, maybe there's something missing. You need to add the book, but don't keep it out there, because that means a few people that are reading your book, they might not even respect your book because nobody else is reading it. Why? They wouldn't be scared. They wouldn't be scared to just use your book any kind of way. When you have mass support for you, that is protection. So when you start to get a lot of views on your videos, people start to see that you're protected. So if you're starting a new YouTube channel, some of y'all may be like, I'm starting a new business. All right, I'm trying to start a new business right now, plant new seeds or whatever. If some of y'all are doing it even late, you need to that first 3 months, you need to be like, am I building up a support team here? Because that means if I don't, then my views ain't gonna do that good, and then other people who may have viewed my videos may be like, well, I can do whatever I want because you're being used by YouTube. So I can say what I want in your videos. I can use your videos. You're not protected. So remember that this is why it's important to want to have a lot of positive results for your work, so that people in society will feel that you're protected and won't be so quick to step up and use you. When people use people up, it's often because they think they're not protected. If you're being used up in the family, your family members are probably against you in secret. So that some of them think that you're not being protected, and that's why they are using you. They know that if you stand up to them, nothing's going to be done in the family because nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. So that's why they don't care about using you up. When my mother passed, people started using me up more and more and more. Why? Because my mom is gone. I'm not cool with my mom because she's gone. And then the situation with the title policies. And so because some people were left some stuff, the title policies were manipulated and people got away with it, but not energetically. They're paying karma. But anyway, those people thought that now they can use me up energetically. They can use my energy up. So I said, I see everybody's comfortable now. So I'm going to go ahead and step away. Step away. So that's like in certain marriages, some people spouses don't respect them at all. So that's why their kid or their mother-in-law uses the other spouse up. Just like, take me here, do this, do that, do this, do that. They say, well, you know, my son don't respect you, so I don't got to. I could just use you up and abuse you because you don't got no respect here. One of the things you should be manifesting is respect. Plenty of it. Plenty of it. And doing your destiny and showing up before the enemy, you know, early. Show up early before the enemy. If you're showing up at nighttime only, the enemy then showed up before you. Anybody that's been using you, if they showed up in the morning and you showed up at night, they didn't beat you to you. They didn't beat you to you. And when you show up early and you say, I try to get it in early, and I try to get it in before bed. I get it in by lunch, or by the end of the first half of the day, and I get it around the last half of the day. At the end of the last half. 9 a.m., 9 p.m. 2 2:30 p.m., 2:30 a.m. I get it in. If that's for those are the times perfect for everybody. Even 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. When you tap into those times in your destiny and you doing your destiny, you demanding respect, even from the people who thought they was going to be able to reach you at that time and use you. They stuck. They sit there like, how come I wasn't able to call you and dump on you and use you and get that knowledge that you would get at that time that you just got? Where you at? And by you not being there, you doing your destiny, you're triggering the metaphysical world and even the demonic world to respect you. You're saying, I demand protection. I demand protection. When you do your destiny, you're saying, protect me. Protect me from these users. Protect me from these users. And even if you did happen to attract a user while you're in your destiny, the protection will come because there is no such thing as dark without light. So the people who was there when you did your destiny, they're still going to come through. So you still going to get yours. But the people who you're not entertaining, who want to use you, they got no choice but to sit there and just listen to you. This is why I start being happy also when you're doing your destiny and your enemies is watching. Be like, I'm glad y'all here. I'm glad y'all here because now my angels know to step up the protection and know to get y'all because y'all came to use me, right? Right in the middle of my destiny, right when I'm in the middle of doing my destiny. That was the biggest mistake. The enemy that uses you never know the biggest mistake is for them to show up right when you're in the middle of doing your destiny. They don't even know how naked they are, how exposed they are to the Holy Spirit. They don't even know how weaker they become in their own destiny, how late they become at doing some work for themselves. That watching you in the middle of your destiny is already giving them karma. They're manifesting bad karma while watching you. Because when they weren't supposed to be watching you, it's because they were supposed to be watching thyself. They were supposed to be doing work on thyself. Okay? And when they're watching you, they don't even know that they're not just sending dark energy to you, they're sending light energy to you. Because there is some light in their life. They just can't see it. That's why they thirsty for your energy. But it is there, and you're still going to get it. Okay, the enemies that want you to use you, they're paying you double. They're paying you with darkness that is still going to serve you. They're paying you with light that is still going to serve you. And they're pushing you more into your power, which is still serving you. Y'all, this is deep. And when you don't respond and don't entertain their using, you access their energy more than they're accessing yours. So they're also blocking thyself that way too. When people come to use you and they want to use you energetically through bumping heads on you over and over again, let them. Just do this. Okay? Because in that moment, you can access their energy more than they can access yours. See, they're out of control. They're trying to bust the energy out of you. They're using you. They're using you for some power validation. You just sit there quiet because they think that your quietness is validation, but it's not. Your quietness is investigation of their energy. If you can't get away from people who uses you as a dump truck, then use that moment to investigate their energy, because they don't even know that their dumpster dumping energy is giving you downloads. Use them too. Use them spiritually. Use them for an Akashic record. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Grand Rising. There's some men that won't stop using me on these apps. They know who they are. I'm not gonna say their names because they don't have a destiny that's chosen as an emperor. They're not. It's important to understand that I'm gonna say it again for people who just came in here. The creator does not choose your destiny based upon what you got in your underwear. That's not how it works. Okay, that's not how it works. All right. For me, I am an emperor that's supposed to have grace. So I'm supposed to go slow with my teaching, but be firm and stand on business like I'm doing right now. Now, because I'm a woman, born woman, it doesn't mean that I'm supposed to have an emperor's destiny, that I'm supposed to deal with users sweetly. Some of y'all cannot stop your users because y'all are using your born gender to stop them, and it's not working, because if it's not your destiny energy, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, y'all. I just had to tell somebody in an email the hardest thing they could hear. I don't know if it's hard to them, but I know it would be hard to another male. I had to tell them that their destiny energy is mostly feminine energy. A born male doesn't want to hear that unless he's LGBTQ. Okay? But hey, I had to tell them that because it was the truth. You know, feminine energy has to be what I do, but how I do it has to be emperor energy. So what I'm doing is feminine energy. I'm talking about being used. Okay. Um, Most women complain that you're used and all this. I'm talking about setting up boundaries. Setting up boundaries is actually still feminine energy, just older feminine energy. So I am teaching something that is feminine, but I am being firm because my main destiny is the emperor. I normally don't share my destiny, um, share my destiny and life path, but it's been a whole lot of people like combating me on this and just not understanding why I'm in this energy. And I got beautiful skin, I got and all that. It's because the emperor do have beautiful skin, and so does feminine energy. So does what you call the combination of the two. I'm a combination of the two. Sometimes people use you because they feel like you got both. You're strong and beautiful at the same time. Some people think you got a little bit too much energetically. That you're too favored. That the creator was playing favorites gave you both. But but what I'm saying is when you find that people are using you, you should, before you go to react and combat these users and go in or whatever, you need to consider like how would someone with your destiny do that? If you don't know your destiny, you could be wasting your energy energetically. You could actually maybe fall into some sort of temporary karma, bad karma for dealing with it in a way that the creator said you're not allowed to deal with it. So for me, my energy of out of here, you know, out. The creator approves of that, strike, you know, strike the person out. Out. Say what I gotta say, keep it minimum, keep it brief, and out. You're using me, you're not giving back. What are you gonna do about it? Oh, you're not, oh, you argue with me? I'm not doing this with you. Out. Now, some people, their destiny may be, work it through, work it out, work out the kinks, socialize about it, give clarity. But my destiny is a fact, that factual. I state the facts. I look at the records. I look at the history. I state the history. I state the facts. If someone wants to argue with me on about that, they're out immediately. Immediately. No further discussion. My rank is too high to get into a long winded battle about some facts. No. Records, I keep record. If you want to climb, if you have a rank, if you want to climb higher in your born destiny rank, then you do need to start including some lessons from other people who have a different rank. You know, some people it's not in their nature naturally to have that emperor type energy to them. So don't force it if it's not your natural destiny energy. But when you're dealing with some people who keep on trying to beat you down when you're in your natural destiny energy, you may have to momentarily flip to that energy, but don't stay in it because it's not your natural metaphysical self. Okay? We all have a certain natural way of being, and you must use that when you're dealing with setting up boundaries. Don't try to imitate other people to set up boundaries. Don't just automatically think you need to be like, you need to be dry to set up boundaries. If it's not your nature to be dry and sharp tongue and cutting, then no one's going to fall for it. No one's going to believe you when they're going to say, you didn't set up boundaries. The energy's not matching what you're saying. The energy's not matching your actions. The person's not going to take you seriously. Okay? So, all right, if y'all enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. I got 18 people in here. Y'all been loving this video. With this being said, if y'all are interested in buying my articles, I'm doing articles from now on, y'all, and I'm just going to publish them. I'm done, y'all. Let me tell y'all, I think we all doing a little bit too much creation. I know we like all this creative energy, these apps, create, but I think that we need to trust that the few creations that we do, it can actually maybe give us a lot. I thought it was glamorous uploading videos, doing shorts, and all of that, but it's like I'd rather just sit and do some live videos with y'all and keep it moving. At some point, I do think also when y'all get your own channels, some of y'all decide to have a channel, you need to decide whether you're going to be an uploader or you're going to be a live streamer. You're going to find out that one of those is going to make you feel like you're being used. The other one is going to make you feel like you're being appreciated. You can't have it all. In my destiny, it says public, live entertainment. The creator really don't want me doing no uploaded videos. I really thought that, that would work for me, but it's like, nah, it's not in my destiny. I could write scripts and write stuff for other people to be filmed in movies, or little films, videos to be uploaded. But the creator actually wants me to be in like live performances, especially since I'm a Libra rising. That's like live. Okay. So if you have a Libra rising sign, non traditional people, spiritual people, you may want to consider being a live streamer, being a streamer uh, on your apps. You may want to decide being actually present when you're teaching and doing things, being on camera. Okay. Otherwise, you may then be like, "Why do I feel used? Because my stuff ain't getting nowhere." You will always feel that way when you be like, "I did all this work and nobody is even like subscribing." But maybe you weren't doing it the way the creator tell you to do it. Okay. Don't just automatically think you're being used. Maybe you weren't doing it the way God wanted you to do it. Maybe the people are using you. You're getting used up because you are not showing up the way you should supposed to show up. If you show up in a weaker version of your destiny energy, someone's going to be comfortable using you. Okay? So if you know that you're naturally a soft dude, stay soft. I know you're like, nah, that's not how men be. That's how your spirit be. I have a sibling that is a very soft spoken, my oldest brother was a very chill, soft spoken dude. And he always attracted money. He was one of the luckiest people I ever knew. People just always came in to help him, give him money. He was a very soft spoken man. He didn't even have a deep voice, firm voice. No one ever used him. Don't think being soft means you're going to be used. You could be soft and still mean business. You could be a woman of color and be firm and mean business. Maya Angelou was a very firm woman, huh? But she was firm with grace and self respect. And so was Lucille Clifton. That's why they weren't used. They never said, hey, I came there and did this poem and nobody paid me. Because people knew that their energy was the truth. That whatever energy they brought was the energy they was going to get back negativity karmically if they disrespected them. So your natural destiny energy puts fear in people who don't respect you, who judge you from the outside of your body. People with intentions to use you, they don't want you in your natural destiny energy. It scares the crap out of them. It scares them. And they also know that they can't beat you. They can't beat you spiritually. Users do not like when you show up in your natural destiny energy. They think they're going to lose the energy battle. And they are. And they are. I have an in law in my family. She hates this energy of mine. Hates it. So she works behind the scenes on me. But still, I stay just as firm. I stay with this little grace and this firm grace. And I just stay firm and graceful, and it just irritates her. It irritates her, but she never really says anything directly to me because she knows that this is the real and that I will serve it. I will serve it straight to her without fear, without worry. So you don't have anything to worry about falling into bad judgment when you challenge users if you're showing up the way you really are, what your personality really is like. Okay? Not what you desire to be. Not what you desire to be. Your destiny is not what you desire to be. It is what the Creator has chosen for you. You have had you had presented the energy, and the Creator said that's what you deserve to be. Now, this is what you're going to be, and this is how you're going to act. And if you don't act that way, then people will take advantage of you. Okay? All right. People say a lot about Charles Bukowski, but he was being the way he was supposed to be. According to his experiences, according to his suffering, according to his destiny, he was not supposed to like the 9 to 5 job. He wasn't supposed to like it. He was supposed to feel used by it. It was in his destiny to feel that way. Do you know that even when people tell you that that person just needs you, they're not using you, you still have a right to feel used by that person if it's against the contract of your destiny. You are allowed to say, this don't feel right. This don't feel right. Some people, believe it or not, they're paying off karmic debt, so they owe their family in this life. But that don't mean you do. That don't mean you have to allow yourself to be used. Your family may very well owe you. In my destiny, my family owes me. They're supposed to be sharing the load. They're not supposed to be putting it all on me. Because as I told y'all before, in some past lives, I was a slave. I was a housemaid. I fought in a war. I fought for my country. I kept fighting for different people. I kept being a mule for people. So in this life, people got to pull their weight in my life. I cannot allow myself to be used. And that is definitely emperor energy. So I just want y'all to think about this, okay? I'll see y'all later. Please look in the community news if you would like to buy my articles. If this video was inspirational, feel free to show other appreciation. You can send donations to my Cash App. Understand that your donations help me to get covers for my books, for me to not have to work 40 hours a week. If I have to work 40 hours a week, I'm not going to be able to do YouTube. So if y'all don't want me to leave, y'all got to also give to me. And that's just the truth, y'all. I still have sick family members I do have to take care of. I have somebody that's still recovering here. And I don't have no built-in maids. I don't even have no kids here to help me. My daughter doesn't come here to help. I'm taking care of her home on my own. I don't have any help. I am the help. So I have help through this channel, and I'm grateful. I'm thankful. But I don't have help off here. Okay? I'm actually helping people who are sick. But if I got to leave YouTube, it means I got to work more hours. And then the last little bit of hours that my sick family members are taking. And then no YouTube, y'all. No YouTube. I'll be sacrificing sleep. I'll be up 9 p.m. at night, 2 a.m. in the morning doing YouTube. And I'm not sacrificing my youth to I'm not, that's too much, y'all. I am going back to work um offline. Okay. I've been working online. I've been doing little temp jobs offline, but I am up for something more permanent that I'm most likely going to get. But it's only 4 days a week because I want to still be able to do YouTube and write my books. But if my views don't get up to 3,000 more often, I'll give it 30 more days. 30 more days. And if I don't see at least like 2,000 views more often, I'm darn sure going to have to just make this a pay channel. Like all the videos is membership. One video a month, and all the rest of the videos is membership videos only. That's what I'm gonna have to do, y'all. You know, people when people say this, YouTube people will say, "Oh, you dry bagging or you're you're ungrateful." I've done over 2,000 videos. It's either these views get up to 2,000. I ain't even accepting 500 no more. They get up to 2,000 almost on a regular, several days a week, or this will be a channel where everybody got to pay to watch the videos. And I'll throw in one video a month as a form of like a donation, like being generous. And maybe I'll start another YouTube teaching something else, and then I'll teach this in books only, in articles. At least I can get paid that way. Y'all have to think like this. This is how CEO people think. Okay? They always measure like whether they're going to, if they're losing money or they're gaining, and what can they do, how they can strategize. So today I got on around 9, I think 9 9:30, I think. So if some of y'all are wondering what's one of the best times to get on YouTube, I find it between like 9 a.m. and 11:45 p.m. to be a good time to get on YouTube, especially by 9:30 a.m. Most days of the week. Most days of the week. So I have a board here, and what I've decided, what I'm doing is working with structure. So in my destiny, I realized that what people were using me for was foundation and structure. And by people using me for that, it was actually blocking me. I wasn't doing no foundation and structure for myself. So that's why I was uploading videos at the wrong time on YouTube. I was doing live videos on the wrong time. But now that I am all about foundation and structure, I should not be late doing these videos anymore. So I got, let's see up here for Sunday, I got 9:45 a.m. I put that on there. I've been strategizing optimum live video time. Okay. Look, y'all, the gifts and the creative ideas are going to come. You're going to get downloads. But structure, lack of structure and foundation will always make you fail. Will always make you fail. Even if you don't have a download, if you show up at the right time on a live video, you can get a download while you're in the video. You can pull an oracle card. You can open a book and give somebody a download. But if you're not on time, you're screwed. You are screwed. even if you didn't even practice for a job interview. If you show up on time, you can always think of something to say. But if you don't show up on time at a job interview, you are screwed. Okay? So, if you are starting a new business, do not think of what to bring to people. Okay? Pick your niche, and then all you're doing is the foundation and structure, the practical stuff. You're going to spend a whole week and just get practical as hell. Okay? You all after that, the creator's like, you like foundation. Once the foundation of the pyramid is set, then the creator wants to put stuff in it. But some of y'all had gifts coming like I did, and the gifts were sitting out with no foundation. Foundation attracts wealth. Being on time attracts wealth. Being practical attracts wealth. And I have somebody right now in my email where that's like a struggle for their destiny. And I told them, I'm like, I'm here for it though. This is something that I mastered in my past life. And I learned how to do this, but I didn't do it for myself. I was doing it for somebody else. So I might have been somebody's banker. I might have been an architect. I might have been an architect for other people. Often your destiny is something you might have been doing for other people when you could have did it for yourself. You could have did it for your own profits, for your own success. But maybe somebody else used you for it in a past life and underpaid you. So the creator want you to do it in this life and get your bag. Okay? So, I am getting some licenses, y'all. I'm not gonna say what license I'm getting. I'm getting a license, y'all. It's never too late to get a license. I know some people say you too old to be getting a technical and technical license or some sort of skill license. Nah, you're never too old. This economy is cooked out there. The job market is cooked. If you don't have a useful license, you're screwed. Period. Period. They got what? Thousands of people trying to get that one retail cashier position now. Nope, you're screwed. I say get you a license to go big or go ahead and go ahead and be ready to starve. Unless you sign a contract. This is also something else I learned. If you're a writer, if you don't got one heck of a marketing team, you better go get you a book contract. You better go. Because I would rather sell 1,000,000 copies and get $1 and get $1,000,000 than sit up there and only get $5 every couple months because I don't have a publisher to promote my work. Let's say your book sells 1,000,000 copies. The publisher only gives you $1, but they take $5. At least you got 1,000,000. Like for real, that's real talk. That's $1,000,000. I'll take that over only 1,000 for my book a year. See, that's practical thinking. It's not practical to publish your own work and you don't have a regular buyers already. You need buyers of your work before you even sell the work. And you also need a marketing strategy that's going to basically get your work out there where you're definitely going to get some sales. So if you feel like you wasn't smart on the practical and the structure building part, you might as well just put all your products back in your laboratory. Put your products back in your space and just work on the practical energy for a while. Okay? So, the very first thing I recommend if you're starting a new business is you need the perfect promotional schedule. Even if you don't know what you're going to sell or what you're going to teach, you need the perfect time schedule or you will always be screwed. Okay? All right. That means you better watch your scripture numbers like a hawk. You better watch watch the timing. See when everybody else is putting their stuff out. You don't do the same because you're not getting nowhere then. You're not getting anywhere. Do your own download, do your own product, but find out the perfect time where the money will definitely come towards your way. And that's not you being an opportunist. That's you not being codependent. That's you not wasting your time. That's you making sure you get an optimum value of your time and your hard work. Always think about your needs. If you see something is just not pulling it through, take it away. Work on it again and put it back out there. Okay, say I will take it away and put it back out there until it gets me my damn money. I'm gonna keep doing it, taking it out, putting it back out, taking it out until that one time I put it out, it will give me my money. Hi everybody. Okay. Hi everybody. Yes, I like teaching y'all. I enjoy this. I enjoy giving y'all downloads. But I do be also about my money. Y'all. And I'm just keeping it real. I do. Because I got grandkids to take care of. In this trifling economy. What they gonna do? It's collapsing. What is my daughter gonna do when I'm gone and I don't leave her no money? She's gonna be screwed. If me and her father pass, she needs to have something. She needs to know how I'm doing it. She needs to have the schedule. She needs to know what to do to keep getting this money. It's look, you doing things to get money as well. It's also you protecting those that love you. It's caring for them too. It's disrespectful to them to keep doing stuff and not care about getting money. Like y'all, this is the realest talk. For real, I agree with 50 Cent. Get rich or die trying. I agree with the one I think Albert Einstein said, sleep is a waste of time. I agree with that. Actually, when you eat healthy and you fast, you don't need that much sleep. When you eat healthy and you fast and you let your body eat the fat on it, you'll notice you do not need as much sleep as you normally do. You'll be like 5 hours of sleep will feel like 8 hours of sleep. You just need a nap. Take a nap. It's not practical to work without a nap. You can't say that you about getting rich and you don't even take a 30-minute nap. Sitting and being on your phone, that's not resting. Throwing your phone aside and saying, that's resting. Not sitting there thinking about work. That's not resting. Sitting in your house all the time and saying you're resting, that's not resting. The best rest you can get is just go sit in the park. I saw this one man literally snoozing on a park bench. He didn't look homeless or nothing, but I said, wow, he's sitting there snoozing. The point that I'm making here is when you have a mission, okay, and you're like, I'm prioritize rest too. Rest means there's no phone available. There's no phone available. There's no TV, movie time available. When you do that, less people will think they can use you. I'm telling you a lot. People will be like, "Dad, you all about business. I'm also not even thinking about coming at you. You always seem like you busy." Frankly, y'all, besides some of the Sabbath day, I want to stay busy. I don't know about y'all. I don't like being idle. I don't like being idle. It seems like idle too long, attracts users. It's like almost like they can sense that you ain't doing nothing, so you need to be doing them. So I find that like scheduled in rest time, that should be it's not practical to not schedule rest. To just wing it and be like, now I'm going to rest. No, that's not going to work. You actually have to have scheduled rest time when you all about business. And I don't mean rest time just going to bed at night. I mean also rest time during the day. Okay? During the day. So I hope this video was inspirational. Thanks for watching. If you want the articles, or you want to buy some of my articles, feel free to check the community news. I'm going to be posting minimalistic book covers for my authors, like like my own photography. I'm doing my own book covers, y'all, my own photography, and then y'all can just buy the articles. But the articles are available in the beta version, so all my articles will be $10 and up. At some point, I will be charging at least like $25 for my articles. I'm only going cheaper right now because it's the holiday. It's the holiday. Now, I'm also going to be publishing a little anniversary version of my poetry with some of my best celebrated poetry. So, a little chapbook if y'all want to read that. But as I said, if I don't see like decent sales for the next 60 days, I'm going to unpublish it and then go at it a different way. Maybe design the cover different or whatever. For me, 90 days is all it takes for me to see if I should keep doing something. So if you're starting YouTube channels, businesses, give it a 90-day grace period. Like a probation period where you're like, okay, do I see any of these videos getting at least 500 views? If you don't see none getting at least 500, be like, I'm out. Don't even keep the channel. Just start another channel. Doing something else or whatever. Okay? Don't waste your time. All right, bye everybody. I'll see y'all later.